here's my original bear look. This is my very, very original first one I ever made just for me, and very special.
Did you make him yourself?
So no, so it would have been probably it was summer of 2019. I went through the most difficult time in my life ever, you know, and I think I'm quite a strong person, you know. I'm people that get up in the morning and think, no matter how awful you feel, you look around you and you know, you kind of appreciate what you've got around you and try and get on the best that you can. But it hit me very, very hard, and I found it very difficult to almost continue just normal daily chores. You know, I've got 3 children, I've got an amazing husband, but there was a lot that was, you know, that I was struggling with mentally, physically, and it drags you down. And I know a lot of people at the time that were going through far worse than me. You know, I got ladies that were going through cancer treatment and lots of things, and that almost made me feel worse, because I thought, you know, how can I feel like this when there's people out there that are a million times worse off than me? You know, it really, really got to me even more then. And it's so easy for people to say, go and see your GP, you know, go and see the doctor, they'll give you something that make you feel better. And I thought, really, will they? And you know, and I did. In the end, I thought, you know, I need to go, and I need to clear my head and talk to somebody, almost talk to a stranger. And as ridiculous as it sounds, sometimes you get things off your chest so much better,
I understand.
Yeah. But I went, and I promise you, I was in and out in 3 minutes. You know, she didn't give me any eye contact, and I totally appreciate how stretched the NHS is. But I was in and out in 3 minutes. She wrote me a prescription. I got home and I thought, I don't need these. I need something to give me a focus in life. And I made this little bear just for me. Literally, just had it made. I drew. My drawing is appalling. If you saw the original drawing, you'd laugh. Honestly, crazy. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, when the night seemed so long, you know, I had to give myself something to occupy myself, and drew a little yellow bear. I did it yellow because I love the sunshine. The sunshine makes me happy. It's yellow, and got happy feet on its little face to make me smile. And I had it made at a factory. I approached the factory and said, would you make this drawing for me come to life? And it took 3 weeks to come. And when it came, I opened the box in my kitchen, and it made me smile. And my husband said, goodness, that's the first time I've seen you smile in about 2 years. And I thought, if that can do that to me, that can do that to so many other people.
Yeah.
So I gave them all, I created 8 altogether. I gave them all a poem. I completely gambled in life and ordered a 40-foot container of bears from the factory. And when they came, I just started donating them. I thought, I need to give them to people that need that smile back. Because no matter how awful you're feeling, a smile on your face just makes you feel a million times better. You know, it just lifts your spirit, and it lifts your mood, and it lifts everyone around you, doesn't it, as well? And that's and it worked. You know, I started to donate them to local hospitals, to children's nurseries, to schools, and the response I was getting was just outstanding. You know, it was amazing. Adults, you know, one of the hospitals started to use them. They started to go to the children's ward and say, can we have some of your bears for our adult intensive care unit? And again, the response is, each bear has got its own little poem, and I think people were really clinging on to those poems. It was, you know, making that feeling, that sad feeling go away and make it better. And it, you know, and that continues, which I'm very, very proud of. And it's great to think that something so simple can work so well. The bears are now, you know, in distribution centres across the globe, which is fantastic. So now it's time to get them into hospitals in, you know, in different countries, which is even more lovely than before. But obviously my focus is UK, because I'm here all the time. So the phone calls I've been receiving from schools, you know, I had a phone call a couple of days ago from a SEND teacher who was based at her local council, and she goes into schools across her area. And you know, I learned something every day. And she, you know, she said that there's so many children now that we're having to do MRI scans on because their emotional regulations are just all over the place. And she said these bears are helping so many, and that, you know, it was the biggest eye opener to me, because you don't realise what's going on out there. And, you know, the world's a scary place, isn't it? No matter how big or small your problems are, it's a scary place that we live in. And if these bears can help people communicate more of how they're feeling and help them continue the life the best that they can, then that's, you know, that's amazing.
No, I think it's amazing. So from our end, I'm like I say, I'm not actually at home at the minute, and I'll be back in the office, my kitchen, on Monday. But basically, I've got some photos together and some quotes and case studies where they might not reference the mood bears specifically, some of the case study, but they actually highlight the need and why they make a difference. So we've got some lovely pictures of families with them. We've got a great picture actually of Toria with one as well, in a setting. But with regard to the difference that they've made for us, there are several things. So I can talk you through it, or I'll let you carry on for now. But just to tell you, so I've got some things that I'm going to email you on Monday. So you've got some photos and some case studies of just that is an example of where the mood bear is really needed, and how they've made a difference. I think the element of choice really helps as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll just tell me a little bit about PASIC, what you actually do for PASIC there, what you're about, what you do, families that you cover. It's all community based, aren't you? I think, is that right?
No, we actually have family support workers on the wards in hospitals. So basically, we're set up as a parent support group back in the 70s with a consultant who realised back then, as you'll get, there was even less emotional support or social support for families. So it started out literally with a group of volunteers, parent-led, organising Christmas Easter party. And then it grew. So by the early 90s, grants were being given out to support families because, as you'll understand, when a family's got a serious or terminal illness diagnosis, one parent gives up work, perhaps both do, but you sat down and told you have to give up work, or one of you has to be around to care. As you'll also understand, coming from a nursing background, cancer treatment for young people is really different for adults. So for adults, we might all know people that go in and out for day chemo. And for children, because their bodies aren't fully grown, they have fast dividing cells, the impact of all the treatments is so horrific compared to for adults, and they become so much more ill. They often lose mobility, and you can go into hospital thinking you're in for a week and you come out 3 or 4 months later. And so we're supporting all families that are treated under the Children's and Young Persons Integrated Cancer Service in the East Midlands. And it's called the Integrated Service because we're the only service in the country, regional service, where we cover across really 2 main hospitals. It's Nottingham and Leicester. There are more people treated in Nottingham because we have the greater specialities there, such as brain tumours. Northampton families come up to Nottingham, Lincolnshire families come to Nottingham, South Derbyshire do, and a lot of Leicestershire, even though where they can, they'll be treated at Leicester. And then some chemo regimes are done at Northampton. So the families really struggle. They are away for weeks and months at a time from siblings. Parents are split. The whole of family life is shattered. And one of the areas that we're growing at the minute is therapy for families, all family members, but it tends to start when a child is post-treatment because they do not have the bandwidth or the emotional energy or actually the physical time to access therapy when they're on treatment. So that's where the mood bears are so lovely. We're not just giving them to the young person on treatment, we're offering them to siblings as well if we feel they're needed. And we really love the fact that you've got the choice of the mini one as well, because I think for teenagers and for older people. So my daughter Rose had cancer. That's how I got involved with PASIC. I was a volunteer. And sadly, she died of cancer in 2013. And when she was in hospital, we had lots of lovely things brought to us. But honestly, the cuddly toys, right at the start of her journey, I remember her classmates got to the most gorgeous sort of jelly bean. I think it was a lovely, gorgeous cat. And her cousin gave her a monkey, and they were with us the whole way through the 2 years that she was ill. And this might sound really morbid, but being really honest, because you understand healthcare, we knew that even when, sadly, we buried her, that they went with her. And every time we packed for the hospital, we always had a bag packed, because if you have a high temperature and neutropenic, you have to go in within 2 hours when you're a young person with cancer because of the situation of your immune system and possibility of infections in your tube that's feeding you all your medicines. So basically, I know from personal experience that when you might be given lots of gifts and toys if you're lucky enough to have a support network. If you don't have that, like lots of people don't seem to have friends and family, or they don't have any money, that's where PASIC step in. And actually, for us, it's been great to have a focus of one key item rather than thinking, let's have a stock of cuddly toys. So that's where they have worked brilliantly for us. They really fit well. But actually, most of them probably, they're a mix. They're either handed out in the hospital ward or they're sent through the post. So that's how it works. So as a structure, we've now grown. In 2015, when I joined as operations manager, there were 3 of us. There was 1 support worker, 1 admin person, and me who did everything else. And now we've got 3 family support workers, who 2 are at Nottingham. Then there's Toria that you know, who's at Leicester, and she goes down to Northampton clinics once a month. And they do pretty much 50-50 support, a bit less in Toria's case, she's a bit more remote. At the end of the phone, face to face, we do parties and trips and social events to bring families together, which again, because we support during treatment as well as 3 years after treatment, often it might be the families when they're getting their lives back together. But really, although they might have sympathy and a level of empathy from friends and family, they don't understand those people. So coming back to meet this community that you never wanted to be in, you might actually not. Some families actually get to know other families and have ended up going on holiday with them, and so it's great seeing them at our events because they've got cement relationships. But in other cases, it's a case of, oh, it's so good to see what's happened to other people, see so well. So it's an important community, regardless of the level that they get involved. But with the bears, what we love is all our support workers, when they go to the ward, they'll carry that little pack of leaflets or cards, and it serves several purposes apart from that emotional support that I've mentioned with my own daughter, where she had this cuddly, it was just called Monkey, and I can't remember what the cat was called, Vince or something, that went with her everywhere. It's the fact that we're not clinical, and some families we get a real closeness with, others perhaps they might just want a grant at one point, or they might go on the Alton Towers trip, but it's a talking point. It's like, how are you doing? Oh, you've got this, you're a bit worried about this operation, whatever it might be. But we make sure we've got a really good tracking system. We've got a Salesforce database, so we know if a child's not had one. For example, they might have seen someone else, but Leicester now hand them out anyway, so we're not giving them to Leicester. So so that I can think of one family where I know we've got a photo, so I'll make sure it's on what I send through if I haven't got it, where I think it was a little boy, I think he's called Teddy, who had one, but basically all the brothers, there were 3 brothers, and they were all given a choice, and they were all sent out through the post, because the siblings can feel very resentful, very emotional, guilty, all sorts of issues. They quite often might get picked up in school by school counsellors, but the child with the cancer gets all the attention. And so it's really lovely to be able to offer them as emotional support for the other family members. And rather than just say, oh, here's a lovely cuddly toy as a gift, when you're able to say, oh, pick, it might be that they just pick their favourite colour, or it might be that they read those little cards, or perhaps, mum or dad goes back home to the brothers and sisters and says, oh, there's one that's about anxious or hope or whatever. And it could be that child suddenly identifies, do you know what, the reason I'm behaving really badly is because I'm frightened.
Absolutely.
So that's where they fit in with us. And I'll have to ask the support workers what percent get handed out face to face and what are in the post. I think it's half and half. But what's brilliant about them is, they're just so great to put in a jiffy bag. They're so light, they're not breakable. And then, they're just lovely. I mean, the yellow one, I'd quite like to have him as our mascot, actually, with a passing ribbon around his neck, because we're yellow.
Then
our logo is yellow. And he'd be my choice, Happy. But it was actually our treasurer that spotted you somewhere. So I know Toria first touched base, but he saw an article about you. So
she said teddy bears as well, and he was, loved his bears and thought they were fantastic.
He does. He's a big fan of pandas. He's a grown man in mid-40s, and he just loves bears.
Same in my 40s, love bears. But yeah, it's so heartwarming to see how they're helping so many. I mean, I was out actually about a month ago, and a lovely lady stopped. Well, I stopped this lovely lady actually, because she got a little girl in a pushchair who got a little hope bear, and she said the little girl was having chemotherapy at Nottingham, and the ward gave it to her. So it must have been your team.
It'd be us. Yeah.
That's amazing. She takes her hope bear everywhere, to all her hospital appointments, to a treat, and it was just lovely. And then there was another lady, and I've meant to ask how, I need to find that out actually. She was given one at Great Ormond Street Hospital. her daughter was having chemotherapy, and then they gave her a hope bear, and then they gave her sister a hope bear. So they both got matching. So when her sister went to visit and went home, that they could both have the hope bears, and should they use the FaceTime each other with the bears, and should they almost, although they're apart, they feel very connected. Both got the same bear, and it's the same poem, and it's just been amazing. It's just been really lovely to hear the stories. I never ever set out to do any of this. This for me, and when I saw it helped me, I just thought, this must be so many people. And I almost said it, putting people's lost smiles back. If someone's lost a smile, they need it. They need it, whether a parent or a sibling or a child or anybody. Putting that smile back on your face just helps you get through your day. Everybody knows. I'm sure you've been through it. When you're feeling so low in yourself, the most simplest things to do in your daily task just seems horrendous. Your motivation goes, everything goes. A knock-on effect to your family, to your children, to your husband, to your partner, but just having that simple smile on your face just makes a massive difference.
Oh, it does. And also having an unconditional hug that you can have with the bear.
Absolutely. It's almost like you mentioned about having a pet and a dog. They say, don't they, you spending time and stroking your dog makes a big difference.
Amazing. That is really incredible.
It's very exciting. This little bear caused a big difference. Lovely, amazing. Thanks for your time. Very much appreciated again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you, Jo, and good luck with the next stage, because it does sound very exciting.
Thank you. Speak to you soon.
Take care. Have a good day. Bye.
And you. Bye-bye.